Are you ready to learn what it takes to close a six-figure deal through your presentation skills? Stay tuned. My name's Melinda Stone, and I have been doing presentations for years. It's a powerful way to use your knowledge, your expertise, and kind of sell to a room of people. So if you're interested in all the tips and tricks that I have used and found success with, stay tuned. Number one, know your audience. As much intel as you could have collected going into the meeting, it's like it's worth its weight in gold. You're going to understand what are the dynamics, what is the problem they're facing, and how is your product or service the solution. Nothing is really worse than going in and giving a presentation in an unknown room. It means it's possible, but it means you're going to be doing discovery on the fly, asking for audience engagement and asking for their feedback throughout the presentation. Number two, be mindful of your body language and how you present yourself, both in terms of your tone and even your dress or your apparel. Every group has its own informal rules about how we act, how we talk, how we dress. So pay attention to those subtle clues that are part of the discovery process. That can just avoid any kind of misstep where you show up in a suit jacket for a group that would much rather see you in a polo, right? They don't want to see you overdressed. Or maybe you know this presentation, you need to be formal. No jokes, no silliness, no attention grabbers, and just stick to the facts. So again, discovery and then be mindful of how you appear and how you act. Number three, you have to be very clear on what your value proposition is. They are giving you their time in hopes that you are going to solve a problem for them. So you need to know your product, the ins and outs, and the value it will bring to them inside out. You also then have to be ready to position it from the stance of what's in it for me. They don't care about your quota or your potential to earn a really great commission. All sales is really channeling what's in it for me. How is this going to help them make their job easier, make their life better? Always focus on what's in it for me. Next tip, always have a strong opening. You kind of want to grab attention right away. This is who I am. This is why I'm here. It's okay to engage with your audience and entertain. You know, I love to be there if I'm doing a presentation where I can greet people and have small conversations as they come in. It helps warm up the room, create a little bit of a relationship between you and whoever you're presenting to, your audience. You might even get like a funny little note you can use, a little joke that starts to build that relationship and comfort within the group. The sooner that you can be seen as a trusted advisor and not an outsider, the sooner you're getting to a sale. Next tip, always use stories. Be mindful of the length of the story. I like to look at micro stories. If you're not familiar, make sure to look it up. Micro stories are a way to illustrate your point. For instance, I come from the senior living atmosphere, and when we're working with potential residents who may be fearful, what will life become when I move into a community like yours? It's great to share a resident testimonial of people like them that have found connection, joy, all of those sorts of things that resident is looking for, other people have found in your community. So using those stories to really illustrate the point and show examples of how your solution has worked in the past for others. Next tip, clear, concise points. This video is set up like a listicle because good presentations have a very clear beginning, key points, and end. You don't want to go meandering down different paths and different anecdotes. Keep it very clear, because as much as we'd love to believe we have everyone's 100% attention, we do not. Their phone is buzzing or chirping. They're thinking about what they need to do tonight, or that conversation they just had at the water cooler. So when you can be clear and brief, they're going to remember those points, and that's what you want. Next, keeping the attention on you, right? So attributing also to the clear and concise points, we want the audience to focus on you. So try not to bring in too many distracting examples or big props. I also don't recommend a lot of papers. Now, I know this is industry specific. Some presentations you will have to provide collateral, but if you can avoid it so that it can just be you and the audience, give and take, you can watch them to see, have I lost them? Are they paying attention? Are they still nodding? Am I on the right track? You can get there if you're maintaining that attention. Next tip, a strong close with a call to action. I've seen other people do it. They go in for the presentation and they worked so hard on the takeoff and all of their points that then it comes down to the landing and they get nervous. They get scared, right? You're kind of fatigued. If you think about it, it takes a lot of energy for some of us to stand in front of a room, to remember all the facts, to be maybe put on the spot with difficult questions. So you're reaching the end at a point of time when you are fatigued. So I always emphasize practice, practice, practice. What is your close? And very specifically, what is your call to action? So all good closes should really summarize everything that you've talked about thus far, identifying those key points and casting it in the light of what's in it for me. So casting it in the light of what your audience was hoping to accomplish. Then the call to action. What do you want them to do? Is it that you want them to consider your proposal? Is that they want them to schedule a one-on-one visit? Whatever it is, get clear, get direct, and make sure you practice. Then thank them for their time. It's very easy, and you can wrap it up with a bow. Next tip, evaluate. You can always improve, right? We're always looking to build skills. So once you complete the presentation, don't just check the box and move on to the next thing in your calendar. If you had someone co-presenting with you or in attendance, feel free to sit down with them and debrief. Let them know it's okay. Hey, I'm looking at building and refining my presentation skills. What could have gone better? Because if you're like me, you may talk off the cuff, right? You can tell I'm not looking at notes today. And sometimes I say things and think, oh no, if I do that again, I don't want to say it that way. That wasn't clear. Or maybe I used a few too many ums or a few too many looks to the left and to the right as I searched my mind for what I was going to say next, right? We can all take feedback to be stronger presenters for next time. So let's review. We're going to know our audience and we're going to play the part by dressing and appearing in a most confident yet part of their cohesive community as we can. We're going to have that strong value proposition and nestle our message in what's in it for them. How are we solving their problem? We're going to have a strong open, a strong close, use stories, and then at the end, we're going to evaluate how successful was this and what can we do to improve. If you like this video, please follow my channel, subscribe today. I'd love to be able to support you in your sales journey.